Thank you for joining us for day 23 of our Transformed Devotions. We're talking about being renewed, being transformed by the renewing of our minds. And this week we're talking about being transformed in the area of our emotional lives. It's not an easy area to really figure out, what does transformation look like? You know, how does God change me or transform me when it comes to my emotions? And I think the beginning place is to realize God made you to be emotional. Did you know that? Sometimes we think, oh, if I was a better person, I'd be less emotional, or I wouldn't be emotional. But the reality is God created emotions. God has emotions. The Bible talks about lots of God's emotions, that he experiences joy and anger and sadness. So emotions are not a bad thing. I think there's two extremes with emotions. Sometimes we have what's called emotionalism, which means being controlled by and consumed by our emotions. And the other extreme would be stoicism or anti-emotionalism, intellectualism, whatever you want to call that, where we think emotions are bad and you shouldn't have any and just try to be as unemotional as you possibly can be. But the truth is, a healthy person, a balanced person, is a person who has lots of emotions and has them under control. Matthew 11:28, Jesus says, "Are you weary? Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Be an emotional person. Allow your emotions to be real, to be there. If you struggle with being emotional, ask God, bring those out. In fact, the book of Psalms, I think, is our guide in Scripture to becoming aware of and real towards our emotional lives. But the starting point today for us is to realize God created us emotional. Emotions are not a bad thing. They just aren't supposed to be a controlling thing. Thanks for joining us for day 23 of our Transformed Devotions.